NBA, dominating the court with godly talent unlocked. Episode 106, defeating the Chicago Bulls. Los Angeles Lakers, #1 in the league. Medea. It's so cool, Kobe waved his fist very happily in the locker room. In the first half of the game, although he singled Starkhouse not many times, on the defensive end, Kobe taught Starkhouse a hard lesson. As soon as Starkhouse got the ball, Bryant immediately increased his defensive intensity against Starkhouse. In the first half, Starkhouse shot 2 of 7 and scored just 4 points. In the second half of the game, you have to play. Maggie looked at the excited Kobe and said with a smile on the side. Hey. Kobe smirked a few times. You can get off work at halftime, TSK, I really enjoy it. Maggie wiped the sweat from his body and sighed on the side. Now, the Lakers have numbed the 76ers. The score between the two sides is now 60-40, and the Lakers lead the 76ers by a full 20 points. With such a huge point difference, Maggie did not have to play in the second half of the game, and Mu said pityingly on the side, unfortunately, I still have to work overtime. After hearing in Mu's words, Kobe rolled his eyes directly. This guy is in Versailles. Kobe's playing time fluctuates according to the strength of the enemy. When facing a strong team, Kobe will play very little time. When facing a weak team like the 76ers, Kobe Bryant will play more time. And Mu is different. In Harris's plan, he gave Mu a lot of playing time. Regardless of the strength of the opponent, Mu played more than 35 minutes in each game. Even today, with the Lakers leading by 20 points, Harris will let Mu play 35 minutes. Young people, rotation or something, there is no need at all. It's over on the field. In Harris's idea, after the game is spent, it is used to train Mu some court single skills. Such an unlimited firing right makes the other rookies of the Lakers envious. If you change the sand sculpture fans of the future to evaluate Harris's current behavior, it will be one sentence: your uncle spoils his father. Kobe took Maggie's scepter with great interest and went to the game. First goal in the opener, 76ers have the ball. Iverson outside facing Eddie Jones' defense is a word, too. The large forward change of direction is not at all reasonable. Like lightning, it entered the Lakers' restricted area. Looking at Mu under the basket, Iverson gritted his teeth at 183 centimeters. Him. Today on the offensive end, Iverson has been avoiding 25 Mu floating in the middle of the range. However, at halftime, head coach Davis asked Iverson to hit more to the basket. Then Iverson can only listen to the manager's words. In Iverson's own mental script, when he hit the basket, Mu jumped to defend himself. Then Iverson pulled the bar in the air, dodged Mu's defense, and scored the basketball with his strong waist and abdomen. Maybe a 2+1 can come up. If the referee blows the whistle, he shines his muscles directly at the fans at Staples Center. Then a roar to boost the morale of the 76ers. Very good. That's it. 100-point script. I'm simply better than Hollywood screenwriters. With a smile on his lips, Iverson jumped with all his might, burst out his core waist and abdomen strength in the air, pulled the rod and threw the basketball towards the basket. Snap. Iverson? Why didn't he jump? Why did he cap me while standing? And, did you get the wrong script? The plot did not proceed like the 100-point script in Iverson's mind. And Mu didn't know the series of bells and whistles in Iverson's mind. He was standing under the basket, waiting for Iverson to break through. Reach out. Standing had Iverson. As we all know, tall players don't have to jump at all when defending short players. Stretch out your hands and interfere with the short player's shot. Iverson, on the other hand, is too short. So his shot directly let Mu stand on the hat. After the basketball was flown by Mu's hat, it was just taken by Starkhouse. At this moment, the Lakers players are beginning to defend and prepare for a quick attack. Bryant was not with Starkhouse. Taking advantage of this opportunity, he gritted his teeth and rushed to the basket. As a North Carolina star and Jordan's junior, Starkhouse also has a dream in his heart. That's to fly like a flying Jordan and buckle all over the league's interior lines. Come on. Rookie, Starkhouse roared at Mu, jumped high, and flew towards the basket. At this moment, Starkhouse remembered the countless operations of his senior. Lock Ewing, Lock Mutombo, Olajuwon, O'Neal. Jordan hasn't detained Mu yet. Senior, I'm sorry, before you blocked Mu, I blocked him. Starkhouse heart was very excited. Looking at Starkhouse, who was jumping high, Mu made sure that this time he was indeed going to jump. Boom. With his feet stomped on the ground hard, Mu soared into the air and straightened his arms. Bang. A dull sound came. Mu snatched the basketball from Starkhouse's hand and snatched it into his hand. Grab the hat. Chick Shane shouted, beautiful, don't forget, this is Mount Everest from the Celestial Empire. Starkhouse actually wants to block Anmu? He doesn't have a clear understanding of his strength. Anmu's consecutive blocks of the 76ers double Tanhua under the basket directly brought the atmosphere in the center of Staples to the highest point of today's game. Anmu! 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 The fans shouted Anmu's name in unison to show their support for Anmu. The Lakers pushed a quick counterattack. Kobe scored to Ceballos in the bottom corner, and after Ceballos took the ball, he did not shoot outside the three-point line, but chose to shoot in one step inside the three-point line. As a result, a strike was also thrown. Anmu was a little helpless. If you really like the middle distance, then you can shoot basketball as well. What does it mean to throw a shot as a result? The basketball jumps high and looks like a long rebound. Anmu rushed into the three-point line. Vice. The rebounding skill that had just been exchanged was activated, and Anmu held the rebound firmly in his hand with one hand. After getting the front court rebound, Anmu took two big steps and rushed to the basket with both hands to dunk. Both offensive and defensive. Anmu showed us a very good performance. The commentary of the voice of the Lakers Hayne once again aroused the cheers of the audience. With a 20-point halftime lead, the Lakers did not have a moth overturned by the 76ers in the second half. Anmu played the first 8 minutes of the third quarter and the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter before being replaced by Harris. In the end, the Lakers defeated the 76ers by 17 points, by a score of 103-86. After the game, Bryant was very excited to throw the basketball in his hand into the sky. Today may be a calmer night for others. But for Kobe, today's game is very important to him. Today, with Magic playing only one first half, Bryant got plenty of playing time. He played 4 minutes in the first half and 21 minutes in the second half. In 25 minutes, he efficiently cut down 17 points, 8 assists, and 3 steals. It's a new career scoring high. Today, Kobe's defense of the 76ers tandem Starkhouse also shocked a lot of people. Hearn said this about Kobe after the game. Today's Kobe is like a domineering robber. If Starkhouse wants to pass through his territory, he must pay some price. He got Starkhouse shooting 4 of 14 from the field. The hit rate is just 28%, so, after this game, Kobe was nicknamed by fans one-by-one robber. Anmu played 35 minutes today, scoring 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 11 blocks. The skill of the Vice Claw is well used today. Of his 20 rebounds, 6 were front-court rebounds. Wow. Cap triple-double. After the game, Iverson came to Anmu's side in admiration. AI, thanks to the 2 blocks you and Jerry sent in a row. Anmu said easily, if it weren't for the cover sent by the 2 of you, I wouldn't have been able to get 3 pairs of caps. Iverson sighed helplessly. He looked at the scoreboard over the court and said, I want to win too. This season, the 76ers record is almost no different from last season, and the 76ers have only won 1 game. Kobe Bryant popped up from the side and said to Iverson, AI, with your team's current roster, don't think about winning. It's better to brush up on more points and improve your scoring ability. Wait until your 2nd or 3rd grade. Iverson, you mean, I'm not worthy? Kobe nodded, indeed, Iverson. For Iverson, being able to get enough playing time for the 76ers, Kobe is very envious. And for Kobe to follow the Lakers to achieve 6 consecutive victories, Iverson is also very envious. It can only be said that there is a difficult scripture. After playing the Philadelphia 76ers, the Lakers went all the way. Game 7 victory over the Washington Bullets. Game 8 defeated the Seattle Supersonics without Peyton. Game 9 win over the Atlanta Hawks. This game with the Eagles is very stalemate. The defense of African Mountain Mutombo under the basket made the Lakers' breakthrough very uncomfortable. Moreover, in this game, the Lakers still crossed the back-to-back games of the East and West of the United States, and the players had physical problems, resulting in poor outside feeling. In the end, he relied on Anmu to play in the fourth quarter and cut 12 consecutive points. And in the final minute of the game, blocked the Hawks' outside core, Steve Smith's killer ball. 12 points plus 1 block, allowing the Lakers to finally win by a narrow margin of 96-95. In Game 10, the Lakers moved to the Denver Plateau. However, the Nuggets are now completely in a mess, and the Lakers have won 10 consecutive games this season without bloodshed. After 10 consecutive victories, Anmu once again achieved career achievements. For the first time in his career, he won 10 consecutive games and had 100 glory points. The glory point balance has reached 200 points. After 10 consecutive wins, the outside world still has doubts about the Lakers. Because in the first 10 games of the Lakers, the really strong teams are only the Knicks, the Bullets, and the Hawks. The remaining 7 teams are all fish-belly teams. For this question, the Lakers did not give any media-level response to the 11th game of the season. Against the Portland Trail Blazers, the Lakers proved their strength with a 14-point victory. And Mu faced legendary center Sabonis once again in the NBA. Only Sabonis scored 8 points in the game. And Mu slashed 35 points, 21 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks, giving the Lakers their 11th win at the start of the season. In the next 12th and 13th games, the Lakers faced the Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets. The Pistons have Grant Hill, which is very strong. Similarly, the Pistons are also an Eastern powerhouse and a playoff-caliber team. The Lakers still won the game against the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons' outside line, Grant Hill, Joe Dumas, Lynch Hunter, are very strong. The three combined for 66 points in this game. The corresponding Lakers in these three positions only scored a total of 40 points. But the Piston has an Achilles heel, a weak inside. So from the beginning of the game, the Pistons' inner line was frantically suppressed by Mu. Mu played 43 minutes in the game, scoring 43 points and 21 rebounds to help the team win his 12th game of the season. Game 13, against the Rockets, of the combination of Olajuwon plus Barkley. The Lakers still played very hard, trailing by 12 points in the first quarter. In the second quarter, with a substitute rotation, the score was chased back to 6 points. Late in the second quarter, the Rockets again extended the deficit to 10 points. In the third quarter, Olajuwon opened the game by scoring 6 straight points, and the gap was widened to 16 points. By the end of the third quarter, the margin was hovering around 14 points. After seeing this scene, many fans in front of the TV finally breathed a sigh of relief. The Lakers' winning streak is too long. Long they are a little frightened salamander. Now the only undefeated team in the league is the Bulls and Lakers. The Bulls are undefeated, and that's because their roster is really awesome. But the Lakers undefeated is somewhat incomprehensible. At the beginning of the season, fans of other teams had trouble sleeping, and every day when they saw the standings, they would frown deeply. Why are the special Lakers still winning streaks? Well, next game against the Hawks, they will definitely lose. Well, play the Pistons next game, they will definitely lose. Well, open the Pioneers next game, they will definitely lose. Well, next game against the Rockets, they will definitely lose. This kind of thought has appeared in many fans. However, when playing the Hawks, playing the Pistons, opening the Trail Blazers, the Lakers all won before the Lakers played the Rockets. Some fans thought, 260 is not 3, the Lakers are going to lose today. After 3 quarters, the Rockets took a big lead. The Lakers are finally going to lose. During the break, the fans of the teams told each other with happy smiles on their faces. What they didn't expect was that the fourth quarter of the game began, and the storm suddenly changed. The Lakers' rotation lineup is like playing chicken blood. Mu assisted Bowen in the bottom corner twice in a row, the right to shoot later, and hit 2 3-pointers in a row. Big Ben successfully blocked the Rocket Drexler. The Lakers defended and counterattacked, and Mu scored and made 2+1. The point difference was directly chased to 1 point left. Rockets head coach Tom Janovich almost threw the tactical board into the audience. Such a special storm? After calling a timeout, the Rockets switched to the starting lineup. On the Lakers side, Harris also changed to the starting lineup. However, he left Bowen in the small forward position on the court. Harris was impressed by Bowen's 2 consecutive 3-pointers and tough defense from the outside of the Rockets. And Ceballos played today very badly. So Bowen took Ceballos' place in the last minute. At the end of the game, the Lakers trailed by 1 point. The Lakers' final attack. Magic controlled the ball from the outside, and played a tactic at the last moment to let Mu catch the ball, and when the magician passed the ball, it was actually destroyed by Olajuwon. The basketball flew straight off the court. Everyone thought that the Lakers were going to lose. The Rockets' home fans stood up to celebrate today's victory. The Lakers are finally ending their winning streak. They had this sentiment in the third quarter. But what they didn't expect was that at the beginning of the fourth quarter, the Lakers' bench rotation was so powerful. A group of substitutes rotated, led by Mu, played a wave of 9-0 offensive climax, instantly chasing the score to 1 point. Fortunately, the Rockets adjusted in time and did not let the Lakers overtake the score. They kept the lead until the last minute. And Olajuwon sabotaged the Lakers' killer tactics in the final moments. Lakers, about to fail. At this moment, a vision suddenly appeared. Bruce Bowen burst out, got the basketball in the air, and threw it towards the basket. At the moment, the Rockets' attention is all relaxed. And Mu jumped lightly under the basket and gently touched the basketball with 0.5 seconds left. Bang. Oh. Basketball board, into the frame. After repeated confirmation by the referee, the goal is valid. Lakers lure rocket. Bruce Bowen and Mu saved the Lakers in the final moments. The Lakers managed to win their 13th straight win at the start of the season. At this time, there was a news that excited the Lakers. In the just concluded Chicago Bulls vs Utah Jazz match, the Jazz defeated the Bulls by 105-100. Karl Malone chipped in 35 points and 15 rebounds, Stockton put up 12 points and 13 assists, and the 14er scored a double-double. Even if Jordan slashed 44 points, he was still powerless. The Utah Jazz kept the Bulls' winning streak at Game 12, and they changed the Lakers' record to 12-1. This also means that the Lakers, who have won 13 consecutive victories, defeated the Chicago Bulls and became the first in the league. Episode 107, Jordan is soft, climbed to the top of history. Mo God Curry. Ness. Nice. 13 wins in a row. 13 wins in a row, beat the Bull. First in the league. League first. In the Lakers locker room, the players are celebrating with joy. Before the start of the season, no one expected that they would be able to win 13 consecutive games this season. Not to mention, the team's ranking is still number 1 in the league. It's like a dream. It's so unreal. At this point, Harris walked into the Lakers locker room. Holding a basketball in his hand, he said, "Before the start of the season, no one was looking favorably on us. In their eyes, we will still be a fish-belly team this season and we will still be contenders for lottery signings. But I don't think so, and General Manager Jerry West doesn't think that way. In order to make the strength of the team and the squad better, in order to cultivate our young people, he persuaded Maji to come back and persuaded Abdul-Jabbar to conduct special training for AMU. Everyone in our team has put in 100% effort and energy every training and has worked very hard every game. From 5 in a row to 10 in a row, we've had a lot of games and we've played a lot of anxious games. Now, we've won 13 in a row. And the Bulls, who just played the Jazz, lost the game. Their winning streak was over, and ours continues. You're all good, and I hope you can keep that attitude going." Harris patted the basketball in his hand. Speaking of attitude, there is one person who shocked me very much today. As soon as Harris's voice fell, everyone looked at Bruce Bowen. It was he who flew in to save the ball in the final moments of the game and successfully saved the Lakers. "Bruce, man, you're good." Harris gave a thumbs up to Uncle Bow, and then shoved the basketball in his hand to everyone. "This is the ball we used for today's game, and it took me a lot of effort to get it from the staff at the Toyota Center. I have to say, the Houston Rockets are too picky, and they are not willing to give me a basketball." After Harris spat out, he beckoned Bowen to his side. "I guess if I give this match ball to Bruce, you won't disagree, right?" Uncle Bow's performance today opened everyone's eyes. 2 consecutive three-pointers at the start of the fourth quarter. Continued high-pressure defense in the fourth quarter. Flying in the last minute to save the ball and complete the lure assist. These scenes left a deep impression on all the fans who watched the game, as well as the players who played live. Before this game, they didn't even know what the name of this player from the Lakers was. But after this game, Bruce Bowen's name will be deeply remembered by more people. Especially the fans of the Houston Rockets. Harris handed the basketball in his hand to Bowen. Bowen pushed off repeatedly. "Sir, I think Mutsai should hold this honorary ball. It was his smash that allowed us to win the game. And my 2 three-pointers, both of his assists. If it hadn't been for Mu in the fourth quarter, we wouldn't have played until the last minute. Uncle Bow, this road has widened." And Mu smiled, and then said, "Bruce, don't prevaricate. I have a lot of honor balls, you can win this in one season." Bowen. "This is so hurtful." "Haha, just kidding." And Mu patted Bowen on the shoulder. "Take it, this is an affirmation of your efforts in this game." Bowen pursed his lips, nodded, and reached out to take the basketball from Harris. "The Lakers will applaud Bowen together." "Okay." Harris nodded in satisfaction. "Bruce, you and go to the press conference." After winning the honorary ball and being named by the head coach for the press conference, Bowen was very excited. "Let's go, Bruce." And Mu said lightly. After walking out of the dressing room, and Mu whispered beside him, "Bruce, keep going. Perhaps you are better suited to the Lakers' starting small forward position." After hearing Mu's words, Bowen's eyes instantly widened. And Mu looked at Bowen with a mysterious smile. Today, Harris replaced Bowen at the last moment and pressed Ceballos on the bench, and it can already be seen that Harris's heart is changing. After the game, Harris gave the honor ball to Bowen, which proved that Harris was very satisfied with Bowen's performance. If Bowen has maintained his performance in today's game, then the Lakers starting small forward position, Bowen is not without a chance to touch. Uncle Bow's road to the top. This is a series to be staged during the regular season of the Lakers this year. When Bowen and Enmu entered the conference room together, the cameraman fired at the 2-inch. The reporter's eyes were all on Enmu and Bowen. Enmu patted Bowen on the shoulder and said to the camera, "This is the hero of our victory today." The reporter asked Enmu, "And how does it feel to win 13 consecutive victories?" Enmu replied, "Of course it's very good. Along the way, many people are questioning the Lakers, but our own players have never questioned themselves. We beat a lot of tough opponents and we ended up winning 13 in a row. This has a great boost to the morale of the team, and the Lakers have returned to the peak Lakers of the year." The reporter asked again, "Did you know that the Chicago Bulls winning streak was suspended? What do you want to say about this?" "Enmu, the NBA season is long, so anything will happen. Every team makes mistakes in this long season. So it's normal for the Bulls to lose." After hearing Enmu's words, the reporters were stunned for a moment. According to Enmu's previous practice at press conferences, shouldn't you pretend to be a wave at this time? At the press conference, Enmu killed O'Neal's speeches. They still remember them vividly. What was unexpected today was that Enmu did not pretend to be forced as usual. Instead, he chose another way of speaking that was very different from his style. "I can't hear Enmu pretending to be forced, and I really feel that life is boring." Some Lakers fan reporters sighed from the court. This season, Lakers fans like the most things are these 5. First, before the game starts, take a look at the top 5 goals from yesterday's game. Of these 5 best balls, at least one must be for the Lakers. Or to put it another way, the 5 best balls definitely have the presence of Enmu. Since the start of the regular season, Enmu has become a regular in the top 5 in the 12 games of the season, and Enmu has never missed any of them. The top 5 ball highlights. Of course, in today's 13th game, Enmu's figure will definitely appear. The final goal, Bowen contributed a lot. But without Enmu's excellent bouncing ability and soft touch, the Lakers still can't win the game. Second, what Lakers fans like to do most is to listen to the Lakers voice Chick Hearn blow the lake, or blow-in, during the game. As a veteran commentator, once Hearn blows up the Lakers or Enmu, it is extremely comfortable for fans. Even when the Lakers go to play on the road and Hearn no longer plays the Lakers games at home, fans will turn off the official commentary voice and turn on the radio instead. Hearn will narrate the game on the radio. Third, drink Fat House Happy water or beer. Watch the Lakers game the 4th the whole time. After the game, listen to Enmu blowing at the post-game press conference. Fifth, I got up the next morning and watched all kinds of media people blow the lake frantically and blow in. Even some fans like to watch some media look down on the Lakers. Then the Lakers will immediately use a game to slap these media in the face, cool crooked. If Enmu doesn't brag after the game today, doesn't that make the 5-piece set of Lakers fans incomplete? Some Lakers fan reporters have a somewhat lost look in their eyes. But didn't want to, Enmu continued, "After talking about the Bulls, let's talk about the Lakers. The Bulls failed and their winning streak was ended. So we're number 1 in the league now? Wow, what a wonderful experience. Before the Bulls lost this game, our purpose on the team was to learn from the Bulls. But after the Bulls lost this game today, we definitely can't learn from the boys. It's coming. That's the smell." Some reporters' eyes sparkled. "We have a 13-game winning streak and are determined not to learn from the Bulls. We're going to work harder to win every game and keep our winning streak going. The number 1 position in the league is not easy to come by, and we will not give it up easily. Okay, I'm done with my interview." The next stage belongs to Bruce Bowen. After the game against the Rockets, the Lakers return to Los Angeles. They will play a 3-game game at home. After returning to Los Angeles, Bowen came to Enmu's house with a small gift. "The road is wide again. Bruce, you were the hero of the Lakers yesterday," Nash said to Bowen. Bowen smiled. "It's all everyone's credit." Nash coughed and said, "Isn't someone very powerful? Why was yesterday's play so crotch-pulling?" Obviously, this is mocking Kobe. When Kobe heard Nash's words, he snorted coldly. In the game with the Rockets, Kobe Bryant's play was really not good. He played 14 minutes, shooting 0 of 3 from the field, 0 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 turnovers. "Kobe, don't have to do this." Bowen reassured on the side, "You are still young, and it is normal that you cannot adapt to this high-intensity competition. Just a few more seasons." It has to be said that although Bowen is aggressive on the court, he does everything in his defense. But off the field, this is a good old man who is elegant and easygoing. In his previous life, Bowen often attended various charitable occasions off the court and won the NBA Social Assistance Award. After being appeased by Bowen, Kobe's mood obviously improved. He looked at Nash. "Steve, before you laugh at me, Please take a look at what level you are at now, the water dispenser administrator who can't even line up a stable rotation. Nash spread his hands helplessly. This matter is indeed unsolvable. As the Clippers' third point guard, Nash has averaged 3 minutes per game this season, with 0.4 points, 0.5 rebounds, and 1 assist. Steve, don't lose confidence, your passing is awesome. I've seen you play in the NCAA, and you're going to play it, so don't lose confidence in yourself. Nash pointed to Bowen and looked at Kobe again. You see, how nice people talk. Kobe spread his hands and said, if you don't mock me, I won't mock you. The two are like this, love and kill each other. At noon, Bowen stayed at Anmu's house for a meal. During lunch, the TV showed a video of Jordan's interview after yesterday's game against the Jazz. Michael, your winning streak is over, and the Lakers' winning streak continues. Do you think they can continue to win? Judging from Jordan's face, he was a little angry. Obviously, the reporter asked this question at this time to reveal Jordan's scars. No, because at this time, Jordan's wound had not yet healed. So he was rubbing salt on Jordan's wounds. Jordan was silent for a while before he slowly said, I have to admit, we underestimate the Lakers. They played very well, good lineup, good ball, good tactics. Especially today's game against the Rockets, although I didn't see the scene of their game against the Rockets, I can already guess their excellent performance from your description. Anmu was an excellent ball player, and his lore saved the Lakers. I have to say that Anmu's wonderful play shocked me. From the Olympics to the NBA, this guy has been doing wonders. They deserve their winning streak. You know, in sports, we're all chasing record after record. Every record means the limits of humanity. Now we have failed, so I wish the Lakers, in the next games, continue to set their own records and challenge their limits. At the same time, I am also looking forward to a fierce confrontation with the Lakers when I meet them. Everyone who was eating, after hearing Jordan's speech, looked at each other with some surprise. So, we beat Jordan to subdue? Bryant spoke first. Bowen nodded. From his words, you can hear that he is indeed convinced of us. And Mu said on the side, but we must not be proud. Jordan seems to be convinced by us, but in fact, he wants us to lose. You all know Jordan's personality. Will he be subservient? I'm afraid he's studying the Lakers video now, waiting for the next time he meets the Lakers to beat us fiercely. We can't relax in any way. The 3 games at the Lakers' home court, against the Bucks, Hornets, and the Pacers in the game against the Bucks and Hornets, the Lakers all won the game. This also means that the Lakers' winning streak has reached 15 consecutive wins. And Mu also received a reward of glory points, 150 points. Now his glory point balance has come to 350 points. After the game, all the fans at Staples Center stood up. They chanted LA together, chanting 15 consecutive wins together. Since the Magic retired, the Lakers haven't had such a hearty winning streak for a long time. Cheek Chain said, after beating the Charlotte Hornets, we won 15 consecutive games. Maybe many fans know that the Lakers are now getting closer to a historical record. That's the opening winning streak. The NBA history of opening streak is the current 15 consecutive wins. If the next game the Lakers can get the game against the Victory, then another winning streak will belong to the Lakers. Let's look forward to the next game of the Lakers against the Pacers. Looking at the NBA all-time winning streak, the Lakers have the most perverted 33-game winning streak. However, this winning streak was played in the middle of the season. It's not like you started the season with a winning streak. By this season, the Lakers directly equaled the NBA opening winning streak. And it is about to break this all-time record. Everyone is looking forward to the next game against the Indiana Pacers. On the court, after the game with Charlotte Wong, Dale Curry led Stephen Curry to the side of his old teammate to say hello. The Hornets players are doting on Stephen Curry's head. After all, this kid is so cute. Curry, who was only 8 years old, greeted these former uncles one by one, and then shook off Dale Curry's arm and rushed towards Amu. Uncle'in, the cute Stephen Curry looked up at Anmu. Anmu reached out and coiled the little head in the panku. Stephen, how am I doing today? Awesome. Curry waved his small fist. Uncle's dunk is too handsome. In the future, I will also be a player like my uncle. Anmu smiled, then you have to work hard. Golden State Levine, and your rebounds, it's amazing. You simply rule the rebound. You are the king of rebounds, Curry yelled. Haha, rebounding, Curry can. After all, it is also the future Golden State Warriors super giant center Uncle'in. Can you promise me one thing? Curry tugged at the corner of Amu's pants and asked. Episode 108, Fighting with the Gods is a lot of fun, the most gorgeous center in history. Uncle'in, can you promise me one thing? Curry grabbed the corner of Amu's pants and asked. Anmu bent down and asked, what's the matter? Hold me and dunk a basket. Curry pointed to the basket. Ha ha ha, why do you want to dunk? And Moo asked. Just want to dunk, Uncle Ann, is that okay? And Moo nodded, carried Curry to the basket, and let Curry take the basketball and dunk one. Ness, after dunking, Curry shouted happily. When I grow up, I won't have to be held and dunked anymore. I can change hands under the crotch in the future, big windmill. Looking at Curry, who was full of hope for the future, and Moo couldn't bear to disturb this little guy's dream. After all, Curry even ordinary dunks, there is a chance of not scoring at this time. Del Curry also finished greeting his old teammates. He walked up to Curry and smiled. Steven, is dunking fun? Curry nodded, it's fun. What about shooting three-pointers? Dale Curry asked again. Curry shook his head, it's not fun to shoot three-pointers. Dale Curry shrugged his shoulders and said, since you think shooting three-pointers is not interesting, then it must be a smash in the future? Curry nodded and said, that's inevitable, haha. Dale Curry smiled and touched Curry's little head, and said to Moo, this little guy's dream is quite big. And Moo pointed to Curry and said, Dale, support the children's dreams. Also, Steven, this shirt is for you. And Moo took off the jersey on his body and handed it to Curry, the commemorative jersey of 15 consecutive victories. Curry was like a treasure, his eyes lit up and the little star took in Moo's jersey. Steven, what do you want to say at this time? Dale Curry asked. Steven said loudly, thank you Uncle Ann. Post-match press conference. When asked if he was confident of winning the next game, and Moo said flatly, we are pushing our limits. I'm making history. So for every game that follows, we have a lot of confidence. Next game, we'll win. The opponent in the next game is the Pacers. When you mention the Walkers, the names of these two people always come up, Reggie Michael, Larry Bird. Regimick Caleb is the spiritual pillar of the Walker. Regimick played 18 years with the Pacers, 15 of which led the team to the NBA season 967 playoffs. In the 90s, he was also one of the stars who had a grudge with Jordan. Another Larry Bird, who developed countless stars for the Pacers during his coaching and general manager days. Unfortunately, for a variety of reasons, the Pacers have been far from a championship. Right now, though, the Pacers only have Reggie Michael on board. Larry Bird is not yet officially in the Pacers. The current head coach of the Pacers is a tough defensive coach whose name is Larry Blon. Under Larry Buelang, the Pacers have always been an Eastern powerhouse. This is also a team that has always been very strong and poses a huge threat to the Lakers' winning streak. The reporter continued, the next game will be the last game in November. When November is over, do you think you'll win the Player of the Month award? After hearing the reporter's question, and Moo replied affirmatively, I think that the best player in the league this month is me. There's no denying that other people are also very good, but in my heart, I'm the best player. I believe that both the stats and the performance of the stadium are the best. I also believe that I can lead the team to all the victories in November. The next versus Pacers game is the November finale. For the Lakers, there are many meanings. First of all, they can achieve a record of 16 consecutive wins in the opening season, becoming the first in NBA history. Secondly, Moo was able to play well in the final battle and lay the foundation for his best month. Finally, if the Lakers complete their winning record in November, then in the next few months of the season, they will definitely forge ahead because of the complete victory in November. On the other hand, Jordan's award for the best of the month is also imperative. In November, his Bulls lost a game, but Jordan's performance was impeccable. He averaged 33 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists per game while shooting 51% plus 40% plus 88%. That's right, Jordan shot 40% from three-point range in November. This is mainly because the NBA began shortening the three-point line in the 1994 to 1995 season and did not replace it until the 1997 to 1998 season. In other words, the 1996 to 1997 season was the last season in which the NBA's three-point line returned to its original. In such a situation, Jordan also passed the addiction of shooting three-pointers. Jordan averaged 3.6 three-pointers per game in November, rising to 40% from the field. MU's data is good, but mine is also very good. I think I'm still very competitive for Player of the Month, Jordan said in an interview. Reporters also agree with Jordan's statement. However, if Jordan wants to win in the best competition of the month, then the Lakers need to lose a game. The best of the month is judged by looking at the team's record first, and then looking at the personal data. If Moo can keep all the wins in November and Jordan loses in November, then Moo's best of the month is not in suspense. If Moo and Jordan both lose a game in November, the competition between them will still exist. Even, because of the best competition of the month between the two, some underground markets even open directly. Best market of the month? This has never happened. In the past, the underground market was only about MVP or DPOY. Best of the month? If a year ago, someone wanted to use the award of the best of the month as a market, someone would not believe it. But now, because Enmu and Jordan's battle for the best month of the month has reached the last minute, this situation has happened. Because of the full range of sight, all converge on this game. The NBA also made urgent adjustments, and the game, which was originally broadcast live on Los Angeles TV, became a full-meter live broadcast by ESPN. It is conceivable that the ratings of this game will be very impressive. Stern believes that if Enmu can win this game, it will be a great positive stimulus for the Celestial Empire market on the other side of the ocean. November 30, 1996. Staples Center, Los Angeles, USA. The Lakers ushered in the final battle of the month. Pacers player Reggie Michael was interviewed by the media. I know a little about the best competition of the month between MJ and Enmu. However, the competition between the two of them has nothing to do with me. All I have to do is make sure the team wins every game. Finally, Reggie Michael also laughed and quipped, "To be honest, if the Lakers' last game in November was not the Pacers, I would still like to see the Lakers win. After all, in the NBA in the 90s, who didn't want to see Jordan eat the Lakers' training ground? The whole team was warming up." Enmu detained a large windmill, which immediately caused cheers from the fans of the Staples Center. "And, to be honest, you really should go to the dunk contest," Bryant said from the sidelines. Enmu thought about the lineup for the 1997 All-Star Slam Dunk Contest. Kobe, Ray Allen, Michael Finley. Who else is coming? Forgot. In fact, in addition to Kobe and Ray Allen, it is good that Enmu can remember Michael Finley. The other three are Davin Ham, Chris Carr, Bob Sulla. The lineup of this dunk contest, the tethered dog, can win the championship, right? Enmu glanced at Kobe again. "Yo, I almost forgot, this is the champion of the 1997 dunk contest, so Kobe is the dog. Ray Allen dogs are inferior?" Enmu gave his logical ability a perfect score. "Discuss it again." Enmu replied with a perfunctory word. Kobe shrugged, "If you don't participate, then I'll participate. I believe that if I go to the dunk contest if you don't go, I will definitely win the championship." Enmu threw a medium distance, hollow into the net, and was in a good mood. He said, "If you go to the dunk contest and win the championship, the dunk contest will definitely be closed." Bryant. Enmu received a pass from the trainer, shot another mid-range, and did not score. Really, trust me. What Enmu said was actually true. Bryant is the only man in NBA history who used his performance to shut down a dunk contest. After participating in the dunk contest in 1997, there were no All-Stars in 1998 due to a shutdown. In 1999, the dunk contest was not held. It wasn't until Carter's participation in 2000 that the dunk contest was revived. He took the trainer's pass again, shot from mid-range, and did not score. Alas, the central investment is still unstable. Another day, see if there are any mid-range shooting skills in the system, and enhance the shooting Enmu's inner thoughts. Range is truth. When a center player has the ability to reach mid-range, it is really an unsolvable existence. In the four dissenters, Gorilla, Big Dream, and Admiral all have a flowing middle distance in one hand. O'Neal is too unsolvable to be solved, so he doesn't need the middle distance. Enmu can actually play like O'Neal, and he is even more incomprehensible than O'Neal. However, it was too tiring to chisel under the basket all the time. And years of fighting under the basket will cause injuries to the body. Appropriately expanding your shooting range can reduce the probability of injury. In his second season with the Heat, O'Neal suffered frequent injuries. The 05-06, 06-07 season was played in a total of 99 regular season games. If it weren't for the Suns team doctor forcing O'Neal to continue his life, it is estimated that O'Neal would have retired around 2007. Play in the NBA, make sure you're healthy. This is the most important thing. Rose is awesome, the youngest MVP, the ball style is explosive. In the end, it was not because of injuries. Enmu is also very good now, and he also has the opportunity to become the youngest MVP. But he definitely doesn't want to be short-lived, so the middle pitch must be done after the warm-up is over, and the game between the two sides will officially start immediately. ESPN commentator Mike Bryn Albert appears in the picture. Welcome to ESPN's national broadcast. I believe everyone also knows what this game means to the Lakers, whether they can create NBA history and get the record of 16 consecutive wins in the opening game, are all in today's game. Mike Bryn looked at Albert beside him and asked, "Mavi, what strategy do you think the two sides will adopt in today's game?" After hearing this, Albert said, "There is no doubt that the Lakers will still adopt their most lethal tactics, with Enmu as the core, allowing Enmu and Magic to cooperate with each other. The rest of the Lakers players will attack retrograde according to the condition of Enmu and the Magic. Defensively, Eddie Jones and Ceballos on the outside combined, AMU on the inside, and Oakley on the outside. And in the Pacers, their main offensive force is Rajimi Kaye, and Rajimi Kaye's three-point shot is very important today. Defensively, we don't have to worry too much, because Larry Blanc is a very good manager. After a short pre-match introduction, the competition officially begins. Both sides announced the starting lineup. Pedestrian, center, Rick Schmitz, 221 centimeters, power forward, Dale Davis, 211 centimeters, small forward, Derek McKay, 208 centimeters, shooting guard, Reggie Michael, 196 centimeters, point guard, Travis Best, 180 centimeters. The Lakers are still a regular starting rotation. The competition officially begins. AMU and Schmitz, jump ball. Although Schmitz is very tall, MU's bouncing ability can throw Schmitz 8 streets away. Snap, Enmu easily got the first offensive ball for the Lakers. After finishing the jumping ball, Enmu landed on the ground and quickly attacked under the front court. Dale. Larry Bueling shouted at Dale Davis from the sidelines. When Davis heard this, he immediately chased towards Enmu. The Lakers' opening quick attack is already the tactic that all teams are most afraid of, because Enmu's sprint speed after completing the jumping ball is really terrible. Gao's reaction can't come, the speed is slow, and he can't keep up with Enmu. The short one can keep up with Enmu, but he suffers from his height. After Maji got the basketball, he dashingly passed the basketball to Enmu's hands. Fans at Staples Center cheered together after seeing Maggie pass the basketball to Amu. At this moment, the fans at the Staples Center are standing. Since the Lakers began a 5-game winning streak, there has been an unwritten rule at the Staples Center. As long as it's a home game and the Lakers don't score, then they won't sit down. Enmu. 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 Driven by the live DJ, the audience was constantly cheering Enmu's name. Maji's passing is very comfortable, and Amu only needs to reach out to receive the basketball. After getting the basketball, Enmu hit the basket under the fight with Dale Davis, and Dale Ziways gritted his teeth and stared at Enmu's steps. Boom. Enmu reached the three-point line and suddenly dribbled vigorously. After receiving the basketball after the rebound, stepped towards the basket to kill. Enmu. European step. When Mike Bren and Albert saw that Enmu actually used a European step to pass Dale Davis and make a light layup, they were shocked. Is this an action that a center can do? Oh my god. The technique of this center striker is also too good. I actually saw European steps in a center. Enmu's ability to control his body can already rank first in NBA history. Incredible. Incredible. When the Lakers' winning streak reaches the 15th game, we can find that Enmu's style of play is not just hot. In his style, there is also ethereal and delicate. With only 15 races at the beginning of the season, in 1 month, Enmu has improved so much. We can be sure he must have put a lot of effort into the training ground. This is the most gorgeous center in history. This is the future of the Lakers. Episode 109, The Demon King Satan descends to the world, the Lakers' true and false magician. Ball conversion. Best had the ball over the half. Because Best is too short, it was Eddie Jones who defended him today. Facing Jones' defense, Best held the ball from beyond the three-point line. At this point, Reggie Michael began to run fast. At this year's Olympics, Reggie Michael's running position caused great trouble to the Celestial Empire team. When Hu Weidong chased Reggie Michael, his tired legs were sore. Right now, the best shooter in the NBA league is undoubtedly Reggie Caleb. Michael started running according to the coach's established running tactics, and Ceballos was chasing behind him. Today, Maggie's defensive counterpart is small forward. His height does put him at a disadvantage on the defensive end. However, his talent on the offensive end can also make up for his losses on the defensive end, and even have surplus. Running continuously, Michael easily threw off Ceballos and gained space to shoot from the outside. Catch, shoot. Standard shooter, super fast shooting speed, basketball arc and fall into the basket. Oh. At the same time, Ceballos, who was chasing him, did not break the car due to his excessive speed and crashed directly into Michael's body. The sideline referee's whistle sounded for the first time. Reggie Caleb hit 3+1. Michael, who was knocked to the ground, shook his fist fiercely. Nice. Score 4. Even Michael rarely had a chance to score 4. Michael was also a competitive man. Hit this 3+1 and looked towards Enmu defiantly. This one scored 4 points, which can completely cover up the arrogance of Enmu's European step just now. Oh. Free throw scored. 4-2. Lakers offense. Maji organizes the attack on the outside with the ball. What he didn't expect was that the Pacers would let the 180-centimeter-tall Best defend him. With his back against Best, Maggie easily controlled the ball to find offensive opportunities on the outside. Best, who was separated by Maggie, kept changing his eyes. Suddenly, he found an opportunity and struggled to stretch his arm to steal the basketball. Best, who had completely lost his defensive position, actually made a steal. Snap. With a crisp sound, Best slapped the basketball towards the midfield line. Maggie was a little slow and couldn't keep up with Best. Best held the ball for half the court and made a layup. 6-2. Yes, that's it. Larry Blanche applauded from the sidelines and pointed to Best. Mike Bryn said, although Best has a height disadvantage on the defensive end, he is fast, very flexible, and can make a variety of defensive reactions in the first place. If you change to 30-year-old Maji, you can easily hang Best. But now Maji is 37 years old, and he is a little weak in the face of a young man full of vitality. Albert said, it's going to be a tough game today, and the Pacers are worthy of being the powerhouse of the East. In this era of strong East and weak West, many fans, including commentators, have great respect for Eastern teams. Chicago Bulls, Miami Heat, New York Knicks, Indiana Pacers. These are recognized as the 4 best teams in the East. Similarly, it is also among the league's defensive powerhouses. Harris saw that Best easily stole Maggie, and his face was a little ugly. Irwin, pay attention, don't let your guard down. Maji nodded seriously, don't worry, there will be no next time. This game is the opportunity for the Lakers to become the first in NBA history. Everyone up and down doesn't want to fail. Lakers ball. Maji advanced outside the three-point line, beckoning and blocking Amu. Enmu's block firmly blocked the skinny Best, and Maji quickly cut into the inside line. Enmu also chose a route to start cutting. At this point, the Walker chooses to shrink the defensive line. McKay at 208 centimeters and Dale Davis at 211 centimeters completely blocked Amu's receiving route. Maji dismissed the idea of cooperating with Amu and gave the ball to Oakley. Oakley received the ball and shot, but was again interfered by Michael's defense. Oh. The basketball jumps high and does not advance. The Pacers immediately pushed up a defensive counterattack, and Best moved quickly with the ball like a court genie. In the face of Jones' defense, he turned nimbly and threw Jones straight away. Best strode into the box to attract the attention of the Lakers' defense, and then passed the ball to McKay. McKay received the ball in an empty position, once again attracting the Lakers' defenders. But a moment before the shot, it was divided between Regimic Caleb. Oh. Michael raised his hand and fell without mercy, and took 3 points again. 9-2. The Lakers trailed by 7 points in an instant. The Pacers players smiled at each other. Michael happily high-fives McKay celebrated. At this moment, the joy in the hearts of Staples Center fans after seeing Amu European step just now has been completely extinguished by the Pacers' wave of 9-0. On the sidelines, Harris clenched his fists, and if the Lakers don't score on the next offense, he will call a timeout directly. Maggie's face was heavy, and he controlled the ball for half-time. Enmu resisted the 221 cm Schmitz in a low position, and turned his back to the position. The Lakers emptied one side and gave Enmu room for a low back hit. Receiving a pass from Maji, Enmu started to hit the back in a low position. Bang! Schmitz's height of 221 centimeters gives him enough tonnage and strength to dominate in low-level confrontations. It is worth mentioning. Every time he met Sabonis, who was of the same height, he would blast Sabonis fiercely. Last season, Sabonis came to the NBA and met Schmitz for the first time in the NBA. As a result, Schmitz scored 27 points on 12 of 19 shooting over the head of the aerial architect. Sabonis shot 5 of 9 and scored just 13 points. Enmu's first backlash was directly resisted by Schmitz's solid downward force. Is that all? A smile appeared at the corner of Schmitz's mouth. From Holland, he and Sabonis were the 2 best centers of the 90s. Now, Sabonis has suffered successive defeats in front of Enmu. Schmitz is the last dignity of the great white bear in Europe. This time defending Enmu, he felt more relaxed, and it seemed that the other party was not so powerful. Enmu bumped back, and there was no choice of head iron to continue the back collision. Turn around flexibly and grab the ball with one hand and send it to the basket. Seeing this, Schmitz moved his feet and raised his hand to prepare for interference. Enmu's eyes lit up, and he quickly turned around again and hit the bulky Schmitz for a time difference. Snap. One-handed split. 9-4. Good ball. After McBullen saw Enmu's superb footsteps, he couldn't help but shout, Enmu's low-level single steps are getting better and better. He's not the center who only knows how to dunk now. Albert sighed. To be honest, Enmu is the most improved center I have ever seen. In the NCAA finals in March, his offense and defense were all about dunks. But when it came to the Olympics, he could even fool Olajuwon in terms of footsteps. Since the start of the new NBA season, the low position has become more and more masterful, and the hook shooting is also very good. Every time I explain his game, I see his improvement. Enmu's talent, in the position of center, is definitely the first in history. The two commentators praised Enmu's talent. This champion from the Celestial Empire has been praised by them since they were in college. Every time they met Enmu, the two people would be shocked by Enmu's performance. It's true for universities, it's true for the Olympics, and it's true this time. Some media have done the Lakers' 15-game winning streak contribution value analysis. Among them, Enmu's contribution value is the highest. Moreover, he is a full 30% taller than the second-ranked magician. In other words, if the Lakers did not have Enmu, they would not have been able to get a 15-game winning streak. With Enmu's success in playing Schmitz in the low post, the Lakers' offensive end recovered slightly. However, in the 5th minute of the first quarter, it was another sudden change. Ceballos fouled again while chasing Michael. Halfway through the first quarter, Ceballos had already picked up 2 fouls. Harris replaced Ceballos on Michael's free throw and lost Bowen in the evening. "Bruce, behave well," Enmu said beside him. This was Bowen's rare chance to play in the first half of the first quarter. Uncle Bao's journey to the ascendancy has not yet ended. The third uncle needs to work hard again and again in order to successfully ascend to the throne. Don't worry, Bowen nodded seriously while staring at Michael fiercely. Now, the main scorer of the Pacers is Reggie Michael, and as long as he can withstand Michael, he can win the favor of the head coach. At this point, the score was 13-19, and the Pacers led the Lakers by 6 points. Michael scored his 9th point in the half in the 5th minute of the first quarter. "Stare me at Reggie Michael," Harris shouted at Bowen from the sidelines. Lakers ball. Maji blocked the outside line and Enmu received a pass from Maji. Eddie Jones came up at the first time and played a hand-to-hand with Enmu to block the demolition. After blocking, Jones received a pass from Enmu and shot a jumper from mid-range. This one, Jones' shooting hand is not very good. Enmu saw it and immediately rushed towards the basket. Oh. Sure enough, the basketball hit the iron and jumped high. Schmitz, who has 221 centimeters under the basket, is simply unmatched in rebounding, and the Lakers players have begun to retreat at this time. The only player who is still trying is number 0, Enmu. Viceclaw. Enmu grabbed the basketball in the air with one hand, and the momentum of the rise did not decrease, directly behind Schmitz, and completed a one-handed supplementary buckle. Boom. The score was rewritten to 15-19. And Shepard, the DJ's voice, fills the entire Staples Center arena. After Lakers fans saw Enmu's wonderful one-handed patch plus partition button, they couldn't hide their excitement in their hearts, and they all stood up and applauded Enmu. Wow, Kobe Bryant and Big Ben on the bench set up the atmosphere again. Kobe, after separating the roof of the world, Enmu once again blocked the Horn Tyrant Man. Big Ben, Heelin' Violent Buckle Man? Wow, what a nickname. Kobe, yes. This nickname is too inferior. Ben, let's shout out the nickname of Enmu out loud. Kobe Ben, Satan the Demon King, Pacers ball. Best pushed beyond the three-point line and waited again for Reggie Michael to run. Today, Michael's hand feels very good, and the shooter's hand feels hard to come by. It doesn't hurt to let him play more in the first quarter. Michael glanced at Bowen beside him. Who's this? I don't know, Ceballos. He was still a little impressed. After all, people have also won the honor of Dunk King. But Bruce Bowen? Sorry, I really haven't heard of it. Man, don't get thrown by me for a while and lose all the shoes. After the trash talk King Michael habitually said a trash talk, he began his own windsaw run. From the bottom corner on the left, Michael begins to slip the bottom line. Schmitz under the basket helped Michael make a cover that delayed Bowen's pursuit. Michael ran to the bottom corner on the right and did not stop, running again towards the right flank three-point line. McKay moved again and gave Michael another cover. Best immediately passed the ball into Michael's hands. Michael caught the ball and made a shot, but a figure suddenly appeared. Bruce Bowen. This guy was not dumped by him? Michael was a little shocked, but still threw the basketball in his hand. Bowen couldn't have interfered with his shot. Shoo! Just as Michael was expectantly waiting for the basketball to enter the basket, he suddenly heard a small voice. Bowen's finger grazed the basketball, and the basketball's upward momentum was weakened. Basketball! Bowen shouted into the inside line. And Moose stuck Schmitz, did not give Schmitz any chance, jumped up and grabbed the basketball with one hand. After Bowen's blocking, he attacked directly down the front. Maggie's receiving route was blocked by the Pacers players. This is the best way to stop the Lakers from attacking. With Maggie's receiving space blocked, and Moo did not hesitate and rushed towards the front court with the ball in his possession. He was so fast that he didn't give the Pacers a chance to intercept the hurdle. Schmitz looked at Moo, who threw off his quick attack towards the front. WTF. This is the center? This is the speed of the center? This is the style of play of the center? Winning 3 consecutive questions made Schmitz's view of the center position be subverted, and Moo held the ball to the 3-point line, and the Pacers players returned to defense. Inside line, Dale Davis and Derek McKay are eyeing the Lakers, and only Eddie Jones and Bowen are fast offense. And Moo within 1 step of the 3-point line, directly sprint with the ball. When the Pacers players saw Moo's choice, they were all full of question marks. Start with a 3-point line with a notch ball? Davis had seen Moo's highlights and knew that Moo had a video of a 3-point line knob to start dunking. However, that was when there was no one to defend. Now that the Pacers have 2 defenders on the inside, as long as they defend a little, Moo will not be able to complete the offense. He's funny, isn't he? The thought popped into Davis's mind. And Moo's speed was very fast, and there was no time to think about it. Davis commanded McKay to harass Moo. Dale Davis guards under the basket. This goal can be scored, I eat shit. Zavi set a flag for himself. And Moo began to draw the ball at the 3-point line, stepped out, and had reached the free throw line. At the same time, the basketball in his hand passed towards Eddie Jones on the side. McKay was immediately shaken away by Moo. And Moo continued to take the second step, reached the basket, and prepared to shoot blue with his right hand. Dale Davis exclaimed, "Hush!" Jumping high, his hands outstretched, he was already preparing to make a big hat on Moo. The 2 bodies quickly approached, and when Moo rose to the highest point, Dale Davis's hands could already complete the ceiling of Moo. The right to shoot later, to launch. And Moo grabbed the ball with one hand with his right hand, and from Davis's back, threw the basketball towards Bowen in the left bottom corner. Bowen looked at the basketball flying towards him, a little confused. How does this ball work? First fake fact suddenly, shaking Derek McKay away. Then to the basket, he jumped in the air and made a layup, swinging Dale Davis into the air to operate the pass. Passed the basketball into Bowen's hands. This ball definitely has to be thrown. After Bowen catches the ball, he aims at the basket and shoots. Oh. Score. 18-19. The Staples Center auditorium exploded immediately. WTF. OMG. Wow, I can't believe my eyes. It's a gorgeous pass. Oh my god. And Moo even has such an operation? Even if this ball is a magician, it can't be passed out. Man, I'm seriously telling you, if it were a magician now, he would definitely not be able to do it. Oh, you mean a peak magician can pass a ball like this? Hee, peak magician, can't be passed out. Fucksk. You put this and this? 1 attack, 2 fakes, 3 choices. And Moo's quick attack operation detonated the entire arena. The viewers who watched the game live broadcast all over the meter widened their eyes and watched the replays given by ESPN again and again. Wow, quack quack. After Bowen threw this goal, he shouted happily, rushed towards Moo, and directly collided with Moo in the chest to celebrate. Big Ben and Bowen on the bench all held their heads in their hands and looked at the court incredulously. Satan the Demon King. Advent, Death Reap. Murderous, Kobe Bryant and Big Ben shouted. When Ceballos saw the ball, he covered his head with a towel in pain. If I hadn't gotten off the field, it would have been me who shot it. This is an opportunity for the top 5 in the NBA. That's how I missed this opportunity. However, he didn't want to think about it. If Moo gave him a pass, he would probably dribble the ball 2 steps to the inside line and make a shot in the chorus. This offense, most likely, will be interfered with by Derek McKay. After Maji saw Moo's pass, he put his hands on his waist and said in an unhappy tone, "Hey, grab it, brother. You're a magician, I'm a magician? You die you." Anyway, Maji won't say that he is envious and jealous. Episode 110, Manic Celestial Giant, Angry Reggie Miller. The first quarter ended with a 26-26 tie. During the break, Harris said to Moo, "And, the second quarter of the game has just started. At the beginning, we are the most suitable time to surpass them. I hope in the second quarter you can play with your ability. We need to get the difference back before their starters come back. Are you confident that you can do it? Hearing this, Mu nodded and said, "Don't worry, Delaware, I'll do everything I can to open the gap. I'm confident." Harris patted Mu on the shoulder. The second quarter of the game begins. Lakers lineup. Mu, Big Ben, Ceballos, Dale Curry, Kobe. Because Ceballos fouled twice in the first quarter and played less than half a quarter, Harris made adjustments to Ceballos' playing time. Seeing that the Lakers really replaced Mu at the beginning of the second quarter of the game, Pacers head coach Larry Braun smiled. He looked at the Pacers' current lineup. Dampier, Dale Davis, Jalen Ross, Reggie Michael Caleb, Best. Everyone knows about the Lakers' rotation, and today Larry Blanche is going to destroy the Lakers' rotation. In the coming period, he still kept Reggie Michael, Best, and Dale Davis 3 starters on the court. 2 other players at the same time were the 1996 Lotto show, Eric Dampier. The other was the 13th pick in the first round in 199-4, Jalen Ross. "Come on." LeBron beckoned to Zaire Davis and said, "Dale, the main object of defense will be in Mu. Eric, you need to go over at any time to help Dale defend. J-Ron, I want you to use your energy to help defend the Lakers' outside line. Eric, Dampier, Jalen, Rose, you are both young guys, let me see your passion on the defensive end." Larry Buelang clapped his hands and cheered them on. Dampier and Jalen Ross looked at each other, and both gritted their teeth and nodded. The feeling of being valued by the manager, it is very good. They will live up to the trust that the manager has placed in them. Dampier glanced at Mu. "Champion UN show? I haven't fought you yet." Eric Dampier from Mississippi State University had his eyes full of provocation against Mu. Defeat champion show, that's the goal of almost every draft pick every year. In Mu's previous life, Jordan once said, "Every time I see Hakeem, I will treat that game as a final. Between us, either you die or I live." Similarly, Kobe Bryant and Ray Allen once said this about Allen Iverson in an interview. However, with the arrival of Mu, the goal of the player to prove himself in 1996 has changed from Allen Iverson to Mu. The second quarter of the game officially began. Walker's attack. Regimic Caleb runs the position. In the battle with Michael, Del Curry was still at a certain disadvantage. The future achievements of Del Curry's son are indeed limitless, but Zarkuri himself. Regimical's vacant receiving the ball, Ceballos immediately pounced on Regimical. Michael received the ball and immediately split it to Jaren Ross from mid-range. Ross catches the ball and shoots and scores. It's Reggie Michael's shooting pull-off. "Something scary," Mike Bryn in the studio said with a raised eyebrow. In this era, it seems that the only person who can use 3-pointers to contain the opponent's defensive formation is this man named Reggie Michael. On the court, Mu looked at Dale Curry, who was helplessly shaking his head. Obviously, Dale Curry is a little weak on defense. Bryant took the basketball and pushed it beyond the 3-point line. Mu asked for the ball against Dale Davis on the inside. Kobe Bryant steadily passed the basketball to Mu. Bang! After taking the ball, there is no fake movement, and it hits back with all your might. Bang! The second time he crashed, Mu had already come to the basket. "Eric!" Dale Davis shouted, and Dampier's defense arrived immediately. If it was Oakley who was now playing power forward, the Pacers would still hesitate because of Oakley's precise mid-range shot. However, when the power forward position is now Big Ben, it is equivalent to telling the Pacers players, "You guys can wrap up Mu." When facing the bag, Mu did not give up his attack. Iron Hammer of Destruction is fiercely launched. Holding the 2-person bag, Mu turned around with 1 foot for the shaft and jumped with all his might. The current Mu is like a manic giant. Davis and Dampier felt that after being hit by Mu's body, their hearts were shocked. This is simply not a power that humans can have. Under such an impact, it seems that all the 2 people can do is stand in place and raise their arms. Whoosh! Mu rushed open the double bag and blew the basket with both hands to complete the performance. The referee on the sidelines also showed it this time under his own sense of existence. Beep! Pacers shot fouls. Blown, who had been whistled, Dampier spread his hands and walked to the referee. "Sir, this is also a foul?" "I'm just holding my hands high." "I didn't, I ran into him. You are not the right penalty." "I protest it." The referee glanced at Dampier and ignored him at all. "A rookie? And it's also a rookie whose name no referee has ever heard of, apparently, is not qualified to argue with the referee." Dampier was still chattering and firing a jail in front of the referee. Davis came over and hugged him. "Okay man. Easy, easy." Davis calmed Dampier, walked over to the referee, and said, "Sir, it's not me who is harsh, why did the ball just now be fouled?" Davis is also not very famous, but he played in the league for a few years and mixed with the referee. He had a noticeable downward pressure on his arm just now. If he questions the referee's decision again, then I will not hesitate to blow his technical foul. "Okay," Davis said, "he's still a kid, just got into the NBA, don't blame him." While Dampier, Davis, and the referee were arguing, AMU called Kobe and Dale Curry to get up. "Dale, you and Kobe Bryant's defensive mission switch, next." And Mu said to Dale Curry, "That guy has a lot of energy every day and has nowhere to vent, so it's quite appropriate for him to defend Reggie Michael." Dale Curry glanced at Kobe inquiringly. For in Mu's proposal, Dale Curry agreed. However, he still had to look at the opinions of the parties. After all, if Bryant is not willing to do this kind of dirty work, he cannot impose it on him. Seeing Dale Curry looking at him, Kobe nodded immediately. "Dale, let me try." He seemed very thirsty to be able to confront Regimic Caleb. Dale Curry nodded, "Of course, that guy is really too fast, I can't keep up." After reaching an agreement with Dale Curry, Kobe beamed. He hasn't had a chance to play Jordan yet. Then go over Reggie Michael in advance and get over the addiction first. After all, Regem Kaye was one of the few players in the mid-90s who could compete with Jordan, and Mu stepped onto the free throw line and hit the free throw steadily. 29-26. Walker's attack. Reggie Michael went forward to land. After seeing Kobe Bryant following him, Michael asked with some doubts, "Why didn't that guy defend me?" Kobe said, "The Lakers have a good tradition, respecting the old and loving the young. He's a little older, so I'll defend you. If Dale Curry is old, then you are young." Kobe. Reggie Michael is a master of trash talk, and he found his loophole just from Kobe's words. "Anyway, you don't care, I'll defend you next," Bryant said to Reggie Michael. Reggie Michael shrugged, "Whoever defends me is the same anyway. Wait to be blown up by me, rookie." After Best had the ball at halftime, Reggie Michael opened the line and started running. Reggie Michael was secretly surprised that under the continuous cover and demolition, he could not shake off Kobe Bryant. "This kid is so smart, Liv. It's just a loach." Kobe's speed degree and spiritual activity are now vividly reflected by him. At the same time, the hard work and ruthlessness in his heart guaranteed that he would never let go of the breath in his heart. Reggie Michael couldn't get rid of Kobe, and Best had no choice but to fight Dale Davis a block. After blocking, he immediately entered the penalty area and made a layup in 3 steps. Bang! And Mu's defense is not so easy to break through. "That's it? Is that like scoring under my defense?" And Mu yelled one by one, Firmly control the basketball in your hands and pass it to Kobe." Kobe Bryant handed the basketball to Mu from outside the three-point line, and suddenly made a fake move making a gesture to cut inside the basket. Mu's eyes were also watching Kobe, which caused the Pacers' defensive attention to shift. At this point, Dale Curry sped off Best. By the time Best reacted, it was too late. He was tightly blocked by Mu's block, and Dale Curry used Mu's hand to block and complete a three-point shot. 32-26. After the Lakers' rotation came on the court, they suddenly played a coming 6-0 offensive climax. And, as the game progressed, the Lakers' advantage grew, and the Pacers seemed to gradually run out of resistance. Dampier and Jalen Ross are still too young. The two of them don't have a good defense, which makes the Pacers' defense look messy. This is something that Larry Buelang cannot tolerate. As a defensive manager, the hardest thing to endure is watching players make mistakes on the defensive end. Putting a rookie on the field is really a stupid choice, Larry Buelang thought to himself. He wasn't a rookie player. Replacing Dampier on the field today is simply to take advantage of Dampier's athletic ability. Result: Dan Peel screwed it all up. In the 5th minute of the second quarter, Dampier lost the second foul of the game of the day on the body of Mu. He once again managed to put Mu at the free throw line. On the sidelines, Larry Buelang beckoned to Dampier and asked him to be on the spot. "Eric, thank you for the foul." Before Dampier left the field, Mu also sprayed a trash word at Dampier. At this time, the fans at Staples Center seemed to have heard Mu's trash talk, and they all booed at Dampier. Dampier took the towel handed over by the team staff and covered his head. Defeat the champion? Shit. It only took Mu 4 minutes to crush his idea. The Pacers adjust lineups. Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, McKay, Reggie Michael, and Best play. The Lakers also made fine-tuning, and Big Ben was replaced by Campbell. To tell you the truth, your strength is better than Big Ben now. Compared to Big Ben, Campbell is taller, shoots better, and even competes on par with O'Neal. He was one of the few interior players in the 90s who could stand up to O'Neal's singles. In the 03-04 season, he was the Pistons' secret weapon against the Lakers' O'Neal. In the 04-05 season, he was an important weapon for the Pistons against the Heat O'Neal. After Campbell came on the court, he played a bleaching match with Nmu for the first time. Nmu inside the back section lead Davis and the two of them into the bag. He gave the ball to Campbell in the crack, and Campbell received the ball, a precise mid-range shot and the end of the hand. Reggie Michael was also disgusted enough by Kobe. Bryant is now more than just following Michael like a dogskin plaster. While following Michael closely, he will also use all kinds of small movements to make Michael very helpless. This guy is too dangerous. The elbow showed no mercy, and even specifically pinched the flesh on his waist. Is this a high school player? Reggie Michael's guilt, deep in his heart, was suspicious. He didn't know that Kobe's hand was a small move. It's all learned from Byron Scott, the starting quarterback of the Lakers Showtime. Being arranged by Kobe with small movements, Michael's mouth was not clean, and trash words sprayed out sentence by word. However, Kobe simply chose to go in and out of the left ear. Facing Kobe like a hobmeat, Reggie Michael felt as if he had encountered a career Waterloo. In the second quarter, Reggie Michael scored just 2 points. The Pacers scored just 20 points in a single quarter. The Lakers, on the other hand, scored 30 points in a single quarter. At halftime, the Lakers led the Pacers by 10 points. A 10-point lead? Mike Bren looked at the difference and asked with some uncertainty, God, is what we see true? The Lakers actually took a 10-point lead against the Pacers? In this way, the Lakers' 16-game winning streak seems to be close at hand. Albert said, if nothing else, I think the Lakers can get a record of 16 consecutive wins. What struck me the most today was Kobe Bryant's defense of Reggie Michael. Today's Kobe is like Michael Jordan has arrived. His defense is so oppressive, his defense against Michael, I even want to give him a perfect score. Albert did not hesitate to praise Kobe in the slightest. As for the praise for Nmu? In the first half, Nmu's name had appeared too much. Always give other teammates a little life 2.0 way, perhaps, the Lakers will trade Dieback for Kobe Bryant will be the right decision. From the beginning of the season to the present, our eyes are focused on Nmu, a rookie who has rarely been seen in a century. Everyone almost ignored Kobe Bryant's existence. But if you look closely at the Lakers game, you will find the role of Kobe Bryant. He's a big punch and a big threat to the basket. He is fierce defensively and can defend quarterbacks and point guards. If he gains muscle, he can even defend small forwards in the future. And, the Lakers intend to train him to be a magician. Although Kobe's passing is a little immature compared to Magic now, I think his passing is full of spirit. The cooperation between him and Nmu is only a little worse than Magi's. In time, Kobe Bryant really has a chance to end up with the burden in Magi's hand. With the 16th game of the season, I think Nmu and Kobe can be the cornerstone of the Lakers' future team. The second half of the game continues. Due to Kobe's excellent performance in the second quarter, Harris still left Kobe on the court in the third quarter. Kobe Bryant's defense against Reggie Michael Cowhide still exists. Phew. Halfway through the third quarter. When Schmitz made a free throw at the free throw line, Bryant bent over and gasped. Rookie, are you about to be tired of lying down? Michael squirts out trash talk. Kobe, who had been ignoring Reggie Michael throughout the game, suddenly said, indeed, walking the dog is too tiring. Reggie, we'll run slower, or I won't have you for dinner tonight, Michael? Rookie, you've me off. When Reggie Michael heard Kobe's parable, his eyes showed monstrous anger.